Bantaba on the favorite TV. Gambia, Gambia, talent promotion. Gambia, Gambia, talent promotion is in support of all the youths and all the talents in this country. Ni regla ci youth Bantaba, ni regla yo ci youth Bantaba, at Isaac Tuba ci youth Bantaba, ni regla ci youth Bantaba.
Hello, it's a warm Wednesday night, 2nd of August 2023 at 9 p.m. in our studios in Westfield. This is GTTV News with me, Aissatou Koli. Let's begin with the headlines. The President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, welcomes his Senegalese counterpart, President Macky Sall, to the third edition of Senegal-Gambia Presidential Council meeting. During the extraordinary session of Economic Committee of West African States, ECOWAS, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, has condemned the recent coup in Niger and said it threatens the peace and stability of the region. The ex-Minister of Finance, Honorable Amadou Sane, has on Sunday, 30th July 2023, bashed the government of President Adama Barrow for signing a $100 million agreement with Africa 50, saying it lacks transparency and accountability. The Gambia Police Force has issued a strong warning against owners of stray animals who roamed around the main roads, thereby causing road accidents in the country. The Gambia government is criticized for facilitating the mass deportation of its citizens from European countries, particularly Germany. Elsewhere, France prepares to evacuate its citizens from the West African nation of Niger because of anti-French sentiment following last week's coup, according to BBC News Africa. These and many other stories coming ahead. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is GTTV News with me, Aissatou Koli. President Adama Barrow and his Senegalese counterpart, President Macky Sall, on Tuesday, August 1st, presided over the third edition of Senegal-Gambia Presidential Council meeting at the International Conference Center in Bijilo to lead discussion and craft out plans and strategies for strengthening the country's economy, security, and social development. The meeting also focused on Gambia's national development priorities, regional and international cooperations, and other topics of mutual interest. More on this report. The Senegal-Gambia Presidential Meeting is a gathering of Senegal and the Gambia, which brought together cabinet ministers, senior government officials, and experts from both countries. This is the third edition of the gathering since its establishment in 2018. The Presidential Council meeting has consolidated and accelerated implementation of important bilateral commitments. It is with the belief that the experts and ministerial meetings that preceded the council session provide a solid platform and the opportunity to review obligations, identify relevant challenges, and mutual forge ahead with foresight of the desire of the two heads of states in the development aspiration of its people. In his opening remarks, His Excellency President Adama Barrow highlighted the need to intensify transformative development efforts in the areas of transport, communications, energy, trade, and infrastructure to uplift commerce and free movement across borders.
At this point, I must highlight the need to intensify transformative development efforts in transport, communications, energy, and trade infrastructure to upscale commerce and free movement across our borders. Likewise, the urgency to strengthen efforts to address the issue of interstate road transport networks between our two countries is equally apparent. It is comforting, however, that we have already taken appropriate steps and measures to ensure that the two countries engage in profitable trade and commercial models. Regarding security, peace and stability, practical steps have been taken to cooperate better and address regional and cross-border security issues. A closer look at the impact of our joint initiatives indicates that once there is commitment, we can both derive substantial outcomes from our joint ventures.
In their efforts for more collective commitment to consolidate the peace, security, stability, and prosperity of the Senegambian sub-region, the Gambian leader also said,
Mr. President, distinguished delegates, the Presidential Council represents our collective commitment to consolidate the peace, security, stability, and prosperity of the Senegambia region. In view of the opportunities available through the Banjul-Dakar transport corridor, we should now redouble our efforts for more significant results. There is strong evidence that the free movement of people and transport resulting from the Senegambia bridge support more fluid trade between the two countries. The lesson is that intensifying trade could be a major game changer for the prosperity of the two nations.
The third Senegalo-Gambia meeting witnessed the signing of 6 agreements between the Gambia and Senegal, which include judicial cooperation on civil and commercial matters, bilateral air service, health and social welfare, Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture, which was highlighted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad, Dr. Mamadou Tangara, which was also highlighted in the joint communique.
The Presidential Council witnessed the finalization and signing of the following 6 documents. Joint Communique, Double Taxation Agreement for the Prevention of Fiscal Evasion with respect to taxes on income, Judicial Cooperation on Civil and Commercial Matters, Bilateral Air Service Agreement, Memorandum of Understanding on Domestication of the Dakar-Banjul Air Corridor, Memorandum of Understanding in the field of health and social welfare, Memorandum of Understanding between the Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture of Dakar and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Gambia. The two heads of state reiterated their strong recognition of the significance of the several agreements signed between the two countries, including Cultural Cooperation Agreement, Economic Trade and Investment Cooperation Agreement, as well as the existing cooperation agreements in the education sectors of the two countries to develop and strengthen ties in the areas of arts, culture, music and literature, economy, trade, business, investment, education, research, science and technology.
Meanwhile, His Excellency President Barrow also honored President Sall, the insignia of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Republic of the Gambia. On his part, the President of Senegal, Macky Sall, thanked his Gambian counterpart for the hospitality, adding that with the agreement signed at the meeting will make a big progress between the two countries as things are moving in the right way.
Mr. President, dear brother Adama Barrow, it is my honor to receive this great award from your beautiful country, and I will receive it with humility and do it on the name of Senegalese people. So I just want to thank you again for your brotherhood, for all the facilities you give us during our stay in Banjul. You're warm and fraternal welcome. Thank you again, and I appreciate the work we done today, and we make a big progress with the 7 agreements on various areas, and this shows that between Banjul and Dhaka, things are moving on the right way. So, thank you, Mr. President. I can assure you that we are very committed on the integration between Gambia and Senegal, and we will do our best to strengthen the relation between these 2 countries and 1 people.
Aissatou Koli, Gambian Talents TV News. The Gambian President Adama Barrow has told the Economic Committee of West African state leaders that military took over threatens peace and stability of the region. Barrow's remark came as ECOWAS leaders convey an extraordinary session in Abuja over the recent military coup in Niger, as the bloc issued economic and financial sanctions on the military junta and threatened a military force if the soldiers fail to hand over power to civilian rule within 7 days. The Abuja summit was a renewal of hope for the citizens of the bloc and commit to the rule of law and upholding of good governance through constitutionalism. Amadou Diop tells us more.
In a statement from the presidency, His Excellency President Adama Barrow noted with great concern over recent trend of military takeovers in the ECOWAS region, describing coups as illegitimate actions that threaten national and regional peace, stability and development. Thus, he called on the regional bloc to work on their earlier recommendations for a standby force and enhance dialogue through diplomacy and good neighborliness for the states and their peoples. Barrow added that the successful elections in the various countries have given hope for the citizens of ECOWAS that with stability, good governance, socio-economic development would be fast-tracked, citing that the ECOWAS protocol on good governance already set the pace for member states to focus on democratic processes. The ECOWAS bloc, until recently, stabilized on democratic governance and became a beacon of hope for the continent, experiencing countries transitioning from one democratic government to another. The chairman of the ECOWAS authority, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a frank remark at the opening of the summit said, "The presence is respect for democracy and most so commitment that without freedom and democracy, there can't be any development. There must be a strong act to protect the life of His Excellency President Bazoum and make sure he is safe and democracy is restored back in the Republic of Niger. No more time to send a warning signal. It is time for action." The final communique affirms that His Excellency President Mohamed Bazoum remains the legitimate elected president of the Republic of Niger, recognized by ECOWAS, AU, and international community. Reporting for GTTV News, I am Modlamin Job.
While appearing on GTTV's weekly show, the former finance minister in Barrow's government, Amadou Sane, has described a $100 million agreement the Gambia government signed with Africa 50 as an ambitious and lacking transparency. He slammed the government for not being accountable to the public. Lamin MCC files in this report.
Speaking to GTTV on Bankola Kuo on Sunday, 30th July 2023, Amadou Sane said Gambia's $100 million agreement with Africa 50 lacks clarity and transparency. He said the agreement is meant for the public and as such, it should be clear to them. He said they are not taking those $100 million for themselves, but rather on behalf of all Gambians. Amadou said the government is taking the money on behalf of Gambia, then there should be no reason to keep it under the carpet. He said if the agreement was brought before the National Assembly, then the people's voice will be heard through their representatives. He said the minister said the Finance Act gave them the powers to sign agreements without coming before the National Assembly. That is not how it works. He added that the Constitution made it clear that all expenditures must be authorized by the National Assembly. The former minister said the agreement is a loan in a sense guaranteed by the income stream from the bridge.
So something for the public, and it's still hidden on somebody's drawer. Where's the transparency? Where's the accountability factor there? They are taking those 100 million, not for themselves, on behalf of you and me and the donkey cart driver going to Bakote dump site, the poor farmer going to the farm. We all part of it. We are all stakeholders. So this thing you are taking the loan or whatever name you call it on our behalf. And still you keep everything on the carpet.
The minister said they were collecting $59 million from the bridge per month, and he checked over 25 years, the bridge would have generated about $305 million.
In a sense, guaranteed by the income stream from the bridge. It's like you are opening a small business, you are dealing with your bank, they know what your weekly deposits are. Then you say, look, I want to increase my business level. So I want much more, maybe 100 million. Yeah. They'll tell you, okay, now let's see your income flow. You know, let's calculate how long it would take, plus their markup and commissions, whatever, you know. If they are satisfied that over the period of the loan, your business will be able to pay, they can give you less funds. Simple as that. All the fancy names and so on is irrelevant.
The minister said they were collecting $59 million from the bridge per month, and he checked over 25 years. The bridge would have produced about $305 million for 25 years. He asked, why take 100 million when the potential is that 305 million can be generated?
I checked over 25 years. You know how much that would work out? At their own exchange rate of around 58, 59. It's about $305 million for the 25 years. So why take 100 million when the potential is that you will generate that 305 million? The only thing is you are not getting it immediately, but you can get it over the period and manage yourself properly.
He said the only thing is that the money will not be generated immediately, but it can be generated over time. He said the agreement should be taken to the National Assembly for approval, otherwise the agreement will be illegal. Speaking about the bridge not being able to generate the 59 million per month, Amadou said this is why people should see the contract agreement to know the risk the nation is taking. He concluded by saying the government has failed the people because they were not transparent and accountable. They always say they will spend it on infrastructure, but the type of infrastructure is not known. Reporting for GTTV News, I am Lamil MCC.
Now, the Gambia Police Force on Monday, July 31st, 2023, issued a stringent warning against owners of stray animals, citing that stray animals are the cause of road accidents in the country. The police statement said that failure to control and restrain one's animals or allowing them to stray on public places and motorways causing accidents is an offense under the law. Kadimbai has the rest of the story.
This comes amid much concern over road accidents in the country despite Gambia's sharp rise in global ranking of road accidents. In a stringently compelling statement, the Office of the Inspector General of Police has expressed deep concern over the increase in number of stray animals on public roads across the country, citing that stray and street roaming animals on major highways in the country have been recorded as one of the leading contributing factors to road accidents in the Gambia in recent times. According to a statement from the police, describe animals like cows, sheep, goats, donkeys and fowls as the major cause of road accident for some drivers. The police command renews the call for all animal owners in the urban and provincial area to control and refrain their animals from accessing the motorways, abruptly contributing the traffic flow to cause avoidable accident, the statement added. Kadimbai reporting for GTTV News.
The Gambia government has come under public backlash over mass deportation of Gambians living in European countries. At least more than 100 Gambians have been deported back to the Gambia since 2017. Gambians are now demanding answers for deportation of youth. Our Fatoumata Sankare tells us more.
In a street engagement, dozens of Gambians expressed worry over deportation of Gambian youths, citing that it will result into much plight and problems if the trend continues. Bakari Manjang blamed the government for being responsible for the deportation of Gambians, despite knowing economic hardships the country is going through. If the government deports the youth, that means they are adding more difficulties in the country, he said. If the government provides job opportunities to the deportees, that will enable them to stay back and never think of going again. Ibrahima Toure said deportation is not good for the country and is not also helping the country. When they are deported, many of them will either run mad or crime rates in the country will increase. The government should come out and talk to the Gambians about the reasons for deporting the youths, he also said. However, Demba Dibasi leaped in support of the government and asked the deportees to explain to the country the reasons of their deportation. Some of them have been deported because they might commit crimes that are against the country's constitution. The youth should come out to explain the reasons behind it for everyone to understand. Abdoulaye B. Toure said, deportation has now tormented scores of families who solely rely on remittances of their relatives abroad for food costs and other needs. Sana Sanyang related migration of youths in the country to lack of enough jobs in the country, advising for more job creation avenues to keep the youth in the country. There are hundreds of people who have graduated for many years without any single job. That's why many youths are being motivated to go to other countries to hustle and bring it home. Youths want to develop the Gambia like other countries because many beautiful places are built by the people in the diaspora. Fatoumata Sankare, GTTV.
Well, from that story by our reporter Fatoumata Sankare, we will take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we look at the stories beyond our borders. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is GTTV News. Let's now look at stories beyond our borders. One of the 5 veto powers, French, has announced preparations to evacuate its citizens from Niger following what they call anti-French remarks. France also announced readiness to support other European nationals to leave Niger. The coup has prompted demonstrations against the former colonial powers, with the French embassy coming under attack. Sirif Conte files in this report from BBC.
France is preparing to evacuate its citizens from the West African nation of Niger because of anti-French sentiment following last week's coup. It has said it will also help other European nationals to leave. The coup has prompted demonstrations against the former colonial power, with the French embassy coming under attack. It comes as the juntas in Burkina Faso and Mali warned that any forcible attempt to restore the ousted president would be seen as a declaration of war. The two neighbors, also former French colonies, have both moved away from France and towards Russia after staging their own coups in recent years. ECOWAS' last major military intervention was in the Gambia in 2017 when Yahya Jammeh refused to step down as president after losing election to President Adama Barrow. After West African troops deployed, Mr. Jammeh went into exile in Equatorial Guinea. The regional body also sent troops to support Guinea-Bissau's government last year following a failed coup attempt there. Niger's junta has not commented on the ECOWAS demand, but vowed to defend the country from any aggression by regional or Western powers. It accused France of planning military intervention, but on Monday evening, French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna told French channel BFM TV the allegation was not true. She suggested the coup, which has been welcomed by the Sado Wagner Group, could be seen as an opportunity for Russia. I am not sure that everyone in Niger sleeps with a Russian flag under their pillow, but it is possible that Russia tries to take advantage of the situation. It does in other countries of the region. It's an hypothesis. The situation in Niamey is reported to be calm on Tuesday as preparations for evacuation of West African citizens begin. A crisis meeting is currently taking place at the French Foreign Ministry as it liaises with the embassy in Niamey. According to Reuters news agency, the evacuation plans will not impact Orano's operation in Niger, as the French nuclear fuel company said. Most of its staffs were Nigerian nationals. Serif Conte, GTTV News.
The Gambian under-20 winger Salifou Koli, known as Bayano, has now signed a 3-year contract with South African football club Stellenbosch, a club also known as the Stellings. Until the end of June 2026, Salifou used to play for Gambia's Real de Banjul. He earned himself global recognition after an exceptional performance at Africa Under-20 tournament in Egypt and Under-20 World Cup Championship held in Argentina. The talented, versatile youngster, who is a hugely popular figure around the club and the country, left the soils of the country last week to complete the move to South African DStv Premiership Club. He leaves the City Boys after guiding them through their 13th GFF League Division 1 title. In that same season also, he became a Gambia Under-20 squad member, featuring for the country at the 2023 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations and the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Egypt and Argentina, respectively. More on this report. Well, that's all we have for you in our tonight's news bulletin. But before we take leave of you, let's recap of the day's main stories. The President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, welcomes his Senegalese counterpart, President Macky Sall, to the 3rd edition of Senegalo-Gambia Presidential Council meeting. During the extraordinary session of Economic Committee of West African States, ECOWAS, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, has condemned the recent coup in Niger and said it threatens the peace and stability of the region. The ex-Minister of Finance, Honorable Amadou Sane, has on Sunday, 30th July 2023, bashed the government of President Adama Barrow for signing a $100 million agreement with Africa 50, saying it lacks transparency and accountability. The Gambia Police Force has issued a strong warning against owners of stray animals who roamed around the main roads, thereby causing road accidents in the country. The Gambia government is criticized for facilitating the mass deportation of its citizens from European countries, particularly Germany. Elsewhere, France prepares to evacuate its citizens from the West African nation of Niger because of anti-French sentiment following last week's coup, according to BBC News Africa. Well, that's it for our tonight's bulletin, and thank you for watching. It's a bye from me and the entire team. Bye-bye.
Listen to us on Bantaba, on the favorite TV. Gambia, Gambia, talent promotion. Gambia, Gambia, talent promotion is in support of all the youths and all the talents in this country. Ni regla ci youth Bantaba, ni regla yo ci youth Bantaba, ak Isaac Touba ci youth Bantaba, ni regla ci youth Bantaba.